Hi guys, it's Wombat and today I give you my list of best bus mods for 137. I thought this was gonna be a huge job, mainly because I would have to tear my hair off to figure out which one to include and which ones to not include. Turned out it was the complete opposite. I had a real fight trying to find any bus that fulfilled my list of criteria completely. And my criteria list isn't that long really. It needs to be a bus that works on 137, obviously. It needs to have a nice interior, which is the most difficult part actually. And it needs to have a very nice exterior as well. And since we're doing this on 137, it needs to support FMOD and it needs to take advantage of the Windows animation that was included in 137, and on a bus that do not include opening and closing two windows, one on each side of the driver. Now in this case that includes having a window that you can open and close on the left side and at least one door that you can open and close on the right side of the driver. And it turned out there is actually a lot of buses with animation support out there, and all of the buses that I tried out have FMOD support as well, but a nice interior and opening doors, not so easy to find. Eventually I came up with 3 mods and a total of 4 buses, because one of the mods includes 2 rather different buses. The mod in question, number 3 on the list, includes both this Travego 2016 that I'm hauling in right now, but the main contributor to the list is the Mercedes-Benz Travego X 2020. And the 2020 model is most interesting because it includes this. Side cameras instead of banana mirrors. The exterior of the bus looks pretty good. It's rich in detail, it's high definition, everything you could want from a bus for 137. The lights looks brilliant, and of course you have the cameras on this one. The 2016 model looks more or less exactly the same, except it has the banana mirrors instead of cameras. Obviously this truck has FMOD support, and the animation of the doors is opening and closing of both the front and the mid section door, which makes this actually the only bus mod on this list that can open and close both those doors. The other ones, spoiler alert, can only open and close the front door instead. If we look at the interior, you'll see that the bus has very nice animation of both the window, which you can also see from the outside of course, but it's not that interesting to look at from that view, and the opening and closing of the door on the front of the bus looks like this from the inside view. The interior, as you can see from a driver's perspective, is very nice to look at, although there is one error with this bus, and that is the camera mirror on the left side. You'll probably see this a couple of times when we go out and drive in this thing. It freezes, and I guess that has something to do with possibly the field of view you are using. I have a very close field of view. If you move it back further, I'm guessing that you won't see this problem at all, depending on how far back you put your field of view. Other than that, it doesn't really have any issues. And the fact is, the passengers and interior of this bus is definitely, when it comes to the passenger, is absolutely the best mod. The passengers are high definition, and they are even prepared for COVID-19. And the interior in general looks very, very good. Now we're gonna take it out on the road and see how it drives. And there are no major issues here. Again, the 2016 model sounds and looks the exact same as this 2020 model, with the exception for the banana mirrors, and then of course the displays we have on the 2020 that replaces the banana mirrors. The engine is the same, the transmission is the same as 6-speeder, and we have the same sound from the engine as well, so there are really no differences except for the mirrors. I find it to be a very nice bus to drive, and there are really nothing I can complain about here, except for that left side display there, but I'm not gonna go deeper into it. Depending on the angle you look at the mirror, it may or may not freeze. It's just a minor problem, and you're not gonna look into those displays that much anyway. So let's leave it at that and move on to the next bus on the list. It's the Neoplan new Tourliner Euro 6 for 137. This one too drives very well, it sounds good. I'm not a huge fan of the GPS on this thing, and the display in the middle of the console there is pinkish compared to the other dials that are red in color, so there is that, of course. And then the steering wheel, I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of it. I can't really put my finger on what it is about the steering wheel I do not enjoy. I'm gonna show you that a little bit more further on in this video, but for now, as you can hear, it sounds okay, it sounds good, and it drives very well as well. So let's have a look at the exterior. And there's no surprises here really. It looks very good, high in detail, and a really nice looking bus overall. I like the fact that you can actually see the passengers inside this bus. That wasn't really so easy in the Mercedes bus, but on this one, no problems whatsoever. And when we take a look then at the animation of the doors, as I mentioned earlier, this one only has one door that opens and closes, and the way it does it is absolutely cracking. Brilliant animation, I have to say. I'm very pleased with it. And then, as I've already mentioned, the interior looks very good. Although, again, this steering wheel, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it. We of course have animations of both the door and the side window. So let's take a look at what it looks like. So that is the window. Now let's take a look at the animation of the door from the inside view. And there you have it, that is the animation of the door. Let's take a look at the passengers and how they are doing. And really no surprises here, these passengers are what we're used to seeing on most buses actually. Not high quality at all, but trust me, it could be worse than this actually. You're gonna see that in a few seconds. Because these are the passengers on the Scania Touring R30. Absolutely horrible wooden dolls. I'm glad I'm sitting in front of them and do not have to look at them much, because they look absolutely horrible. But the interior otherwise, my cockpit is brilliant. It looks fantastic, like you would expect from a proper bus mod. The animations of the window looks like this from the interior view. And then we have the door as well, of course, only the front door. The animation looks like this. There are nothing I don't like at all with the interior, except for the passengers and perhaps also the interior behind the driver. And the externals on this bus is really nice. I really like this bus. It's the only one with a buggy axle at the back there. The other ones are just 4x2s. This is a 6x2 instead. It looks brilliant, although perhaps there is something that could be worked on regarding the front door from the exterior view. There's something not really matching up there. But other than that, absolutely fantastic bus. And now we're going to see how it drives. And there are really no surprises here either. One thing that I didn't mention earlier about this bus, unlike the other ones, it has not a built-in GPS. The other two has that. This one has, as you can see in the windshield, an external GPS. It's not a big problem, it's not really something I worry about, and it wasn't on my list of requirements either, but it's worth mentioning that you have to add a GPS, a separate one for this one. It hasn't a GPS built in. But other than that, absolutely brilliant to drive in. It's very good sounding as well. So, like the other ones, absolutely top notch. And that is my entire list. Out of the 30 buses that I tested out, this is a list of only 3 buses that actually made it to the list. There are too many issues with the other buses, and to conclude, there are minor issues with all 3 of these buses, but it's not really something that stops me or prevents me in any way from using them. But there are the mentioned issues that I hope will be solved for the future. So with that said, thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, subscribe as well. Until next time, take care everyone. Bye bye.